All right, so today, me and Yvonne, we are going to be going through how to choose dental plans. I know it's something that people have been wondering. Some people think that it's based off of benefits and costs, but that is not true. So there's a couple of things that we'll need to know when you're picking out a dental plan. It does somewhat depend on budget. If the person can afford the most expensive plan and they just want to make sure that everything's covered and they want the most benefits possible, there'll be a plan that will go over that will cover that. But if you are just trying to fit the dental plan into someone's budget and you are including health and life and some other things in there, then what you want to do is get them coverage for exactly what they're looking for. And there's certain questions that you'll want to ask to figure that out. So the questions are really simple because dental is really simple. The main one is, what are you trying to use the dental insurance for? Is it going to be for just routine maintenance like cleanings, um, and just your normal checkups, or do you need fillings? Do you have cavities? Or are you looking for something more serious like root canals? Like, what are your concerns? They will tell you what they are. And then once they tell you, let's say they just say, okay, well, I just want just the regular maintenance. My teeth are great. You can let them know, okay, well, down the road, if something does happen, you can go ahead and increase your coverage at any time. Just call and let me know. If you need the plan for something more than what we're signing you up for here, let me know. Because if you don't tell them that, and then let's say they do have, cavities and things like that, and then they go and then it's not covered, they'll get mad and they'll switch plans or whatever the case is when there were other options available, but they didn't know that because you never made that statement. At least you can cover your own butt by saying, hey, there's other options available, but this is what fits you right now. So what we'll do is jump into Allstate. Again, I would go through Emeritus, but right now it's saying forbidden every time I try to log in. But the only time I ever use Emeritus is if uh, Allstate is not available. The reason why is Allstate has several different options there, and I like their options. Their options work pretty well. Emeritus, they only have two options. You either go with just a very basic or one that's expensive but isn't as good as the Allstate plan. And so at some point, we'll go through that another time. But right now, we're just going to take a quick look at Allstate. So I'm going to share my screen, and we will get into it. All right, so we're just going to say today's the 9th. We'll just say it's for tomorrow. Oops, I put 23, 24. We're just going to use an Arizona one. And we'll quote. And so there's a lot of different things, but you just click on dental. And now what you're going to see is the value, the plus, the prime, the copay, and the copay plan 2. This is going to be the best plan there is. It is unlimited. There is no deductible. And then you have copays for different things, but I'll show you exactly how to determine which one to use. And you see the difference in price. The value, which is has the least coverage, is only $21. And the premium, or the copay plan 2, is $57.77. So there's not a huge difference in price anyway. And then we'll go through what that covers. So hospital indemnity basically just pays a little bit no matter where they go. The benefit of this is they can go out of network, in network. It really doesn't matter where they go. But for the cost, I don't really suggest doing the dental indemnity unless that's the only thing that's available. And then at that point, you'll still want to get them the most coverage for whatever's there. But if you see here, the annual benefit, the maximum on the best plan available is $1,500, and that's just not that much when you look at these plans. All right, so to see what they cover, we'll go to download brochure. And mine is going to put it on desktop, and it should open up. All right. Okay. So we're going to look at the select dental PPO plans. Really, it's really, really, really easy to just kind of take a quick look at these. So these are the value, the plus, and the prime plan. And the way that you read this is these are going to be the deductibles for the individual in and out of network. These are going to be for the family. And then this is what it covers in network and out of network. So you have 100% coverage for preventative services, in-network, 70% out-of-network. That's across the board. Basic services is going to be 60%, 30% across the board. And then in second year, it's going to jump up. This is the same across the board. Now, where the difference is between these types of plans is here, the major services. So if they're saying that they don't need any of the major services, these are like deep sedation, anesthesia, crowns, oral surgeries, composite fillings, things like that, then you can go with this one with the cheapest plan, or if their budget's just really, really low. But you still don't want to get them a plan that's not going to cover what they need, even if their budget is really low. Otherwise, they could be just paying $17 for no reason. But at least the visit itself will be a little bit cheaper, but that's just a conversation you'll have to have with them if their budget is really, really, really low. But as long as they have $20 to $30 that they can spend on it, you can get them a decent plan. All right, orthodontics also not covered. And then the annual maximum goes up year after year. So we have first year 1,000, second year 1,500, third year it goes up to 2,000. So the longer they keep the plan, the higher it goes. With this one, it does cover major services at 15%, 10%, first year, and then 25%, 15% in year 2 and on. And then 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. So it's kind of like a medium plan between the two. And then you have the plus plan, which just covers things a lot better. It's 25%, 15% year 1, and then 50%, 30% year 2 for major services, which can help out a lot. Also covers orthodontics. And then it goes up to $3,000 of coverage over time. Now, the copay plans, these ones are a lot better because you don't have to worry about percentages. It's just a fat payment for whatever you're going to be using it for, a flat copay. So the biggest difference here is preventative services. There's going to be a $50 copay per visit on the copay plan. No copay for the plan 2. There's no waiting period on either one of these. For basic services, it's a $50 copay per procedure. This one, it's a $100 copay flat out and 50% flat out, meaning they don't have to pay for each individual procedure that they get done, whereas this one they do. That's what that means. So let's say you have to get, it's just extractions. Well, it'll be $50 per tooth. Here, it'll be $100 no matter how many teeth they pull the first year, and then 50 the year after that, no waiting period. Now, the major services, this is where it gets important because now you have 6-month waiting period on this one, where it's going to be a $50 per procedure and then $250 per procedure. Whereas this one has no waiting period, $125 per procedure in year 1, and then down to $75 in year 2. And then the same thing, $500 for these tier 2 services, and then $350 year 2 and every year after that. So year 1, it's $500, year 2, $350. And then here, it's $3,000 per person per plan year, which is really, really good for a dental plan. But with the copay plan 2, there's no maximum at all. You don't have to ever worry about running out of coverage. And this is great, especially if the person says they have to get a lot of work done. So the biggest question really is going to be what's in the major services, tier 1 and tier 2. So the deep sedation, general anesthesia for major services, oral surgery, and composite fillings and periodontics. And if you're watching this and you don't know what these mean, Google it. You can just Google it and it will tell you what falls under these things. You don't have to worry about calling the company. You don't have to reach out to your leader, your success coach, or anything like that. Just use good old Google, put in periodontics, oral surgeries, or what counts as major services. You can also look that up, and dental, and it'll also tell you a lot. Major services, tier 2, these are the crowns, endodontic therapies, fixed prosthodontics, which is just implants, partial dentures or pontics, partial dental retainers, inlays, onlays, all those the more expensive things are going to be the tier 2. And, if you can get, what am I thinking of? If you can get implants and things like that for like $500, that's really, really good. And so that's pretty much what that covers. And then this is just for the eye exam stuff. And basically, we'll just throw this in here just because. Basically, if the person gets glasses every year, you'll want to go with the plan 2 because they get to get glasses every year that way. If they get or if they get it every 2 years, then it would be worth their while to just do the level plan 1. Because the difference in cost with these additional benefits, it's really not going to make a difference unless the person gets glasses every single year. So if they say I only get glasses every 2 years or every 3 years, 4 years, you'll always want to go with the level plan 1. And then if they say that they get glasses every year, you'll want to go with the plan 2. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to really be about boosting the premium. You'll just want to do what's right by the client. That's the way that you'll get more referrals. Your clients will stick with you. And then you'll also want to make them understand that it isn't really about trying to get the premium up as high as possible. The way you do that is by simply asking the question again, okay, what do you plan on using this for? And then you can explain, like, some plans are going to be more expensive than others based on how you're going to use it. So we need to pick a plan for you that's going to work for what you're going to use it for, and not just go with the most expensive plan if you're not even going to use it like that. If you say a statement that's kind of like that, they'll trust you. That'll build the credibility that you need. And then they will come back to you over and over again anytime that they have questions moving forward. So that's basically the quick and easy way to figure out which plan to go with as far as the dental goes. Again, with Emeritus, it's going to be the same thing. If they just want regular cleanings and visits, that's all they care about, you'll want to go with the value plan. And then depending on the state, it'll vary what the higher up plan is called. But you'll go with that if they're worried about, getting extractions, crowns, root canals, things like that. And then Emeritus is pretty much everywhere that I've seen, all 50 states, whereas Allstate Dental is not. Sometimes they only have the dental indemnity, in which case you'll want to just switch over and use Emeritus because it's about the same cost and it has better coverage. All right, so that's that in a nutshell. Yvonne, did you have any questions?
No, this was really good. Thank you for breaking that down. It makes more sense for me now to really just include it in my quotes.
Yes, and so yeah, we might as well talk about that. So the easy way to go through it is when you go through the script for health, you'll want to, once you figure out what they need for the health and life, if you're going to include that, the next thing that you'll just want to ask is, hey, well, did you also need dental coverage? That's it. That's all you need to say. And they'll say like yes or no. Like, I don't just automatically throw that in there. I just ask. And if they say like, oh yeah, well, I want to look at dental coverage too. Because you don't even have to say necessarily like, do you want it? You can just ask like, hey, are you interested in looking at dental coverage? And then they'll say, yeah. And then the way that you build value is that you ask that same question. So what would you use it for? Is it just for checkups and cleanings? Or are you worried about cavities and fillings and root canals and things like that? Like, what would you use your plan for? And then it makes them think about it. And once they actually think about it, they're like, wait, yeah, what if I have to get I get a cavity? What if I need to get a root canal? What if I need a crown? How much is that going to cost? Yeah, I want that one that's going to cover everything. Like, okay, it's going to be about $50. Is that within your budget? And you should already know that by asking that question at the very beginning. But sometimes you'll hit the budget and then you'll use this as an add-on. Like, okay, well, we're at budget here at $200. To include this would be another $50. Do you think you can afford that? That's what I ask. Because now they're going to have to defend their decision. It's not like, hey, well, yeah, you really need to get this. Go ahead and add it. I'm like, no, no, no. Like, our budget was 200. That's what you told me. Can you even do $50? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, we'll go ahead and add that on, and let's go ahead and start the application for that. So once you get that down, that'll significantly help boost things, not only for promotions, because it helps your NAP. It also help your pocket a little bit by adding those little extra things. And then at the end of the day, you're helping the client, because the way that we want to look at everything is that we get paid very well to help our clients in the best ways possible. And our job is to figure out where they're lacking and fill those deficiencies. To figure out, hey, this person doesn't have dental, this person doesn't have vision, this person doesn't have a good health plan. What they have does not cover the things that they need. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of in the most efficient way possible. Not the thing that's going to get us the most money. That's the wrong way to think about things. If you do that, they will sense it most of the time. They will be a lot more likely to switch to somebody that has their best interests at heart. And we want the buck to stop here. Like, they don't want to go anywhere else because they know that we're looking out for them and looking out for their best interests. So if we can keep on that path, I think that all of us will be in a position where all of our clients will trust us, they'll refer people to us, and we get to keep them on the books. And the only way to build that recurring income that everybody's looking for with doing health is by keeping our clients, and making them understand that we care so much about them that they won't want to go anywhere else. So with that, that pretty much concludes that. If you have any questions, reach out to your success coach and have a great day.